Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house. And today I've got the Quietcarry IQ here with me for a review, and we're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this guy. But hey, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content. So what do we have here? This is the Quietcarry IQ, very little knife, I would say. Overall length is 6.5 inches roughly, with a 2.75 inch long blade and a 3.6 inch long handle. And let's see how this guy compares up against a couple of small knives. For example, this is the James brand The County, which is smaller, as you can see. This is the Wee Knife Shamwari, designed by Garrett Ball. Really interesting front flipper right over here. So as you can see, it's like right in between these two guys. Let's see also what do we have on the smaller end. We can start with the classics. Ontario Rat number 1, of course, it's bigger than that, and of course Ontario Rat number 2, Ontario Rat number 1, and this is the number 2. And as you can see, this guy, it's small, it's falling right in between these two guys. And for example, if you check the Spyderco Para 3, it's a bigger option compared to the Quietcarry. Of course, Paramilitary 2 is gonna kind of like dwarfing this guy. What else we can show you? The classics over here, small Sebenza 21 Chris Reeve knives, and of course you've gotta have the large Sebenza 21, also Chris Reeve knives. Still smaller than the small, so keep that in mind. These guys are going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit fancier than that. This is the custom knife factory designed by Philippe Georget 520, and also another custom knife factory, huge boy, look at that. This is the Snafu 2.0 designed by Peter Rassenti. Beautiful knife, but look at the size of that guy. Something a little bit smaller than the Snafu, but still bigger than the Quietcarry is the Shirogorov Neon Zero. And of course, you know, this is the Shirogorov F95R Slim, which again, both options are pretty big compared to that. Another option right over here, which I just got and I just happen to love, is the Wee Knife Mini Buster, designed by Snacks. Really cool option, and I'm gonna show you another couple over here, since we've got of course the Canadian BC made North Arm Knives Skaha version 2. And what else can I show you? Something that it's not that big. This is the Laitière Fontenelle Pateau. Beautiful blade. Of course, this is the Fab edition. What else can I show you guys that I got over here? Of course, I'm just gonna show you this. A couple of fancy ones, because I know you guys enjoy that. This is the Holt Bladeworks Spectre. And another fancy one. Look at this. Shirogorov Custom Division Neon in the house. This is a beautiful piece, guys, just gorgeously done. Stay tuned for the review of this guy. So let's see, what do we have here. This is the Quietcarry IQ, and it's a really neat one for several reasons. It's very simply made, very simple designed to titanium scales going on. This, I would say, overlay, reverse bolster, carbon fiber chunk right over here. It gives a nice little touch. It has a modern look. It has a modern feel, but looks kind of traditional in a way. I don't know how to describe it. It's sleek. Straight line over here, straight line over there. It's just very simple, very thin, nicely done, murdered out. You can pick several options for this guy, several materials, several blade material as well, and you can customize in a way your experience with this little fella. So this is very interesting, titanium frame lock. There's no skeletonization going on the inside. You've got some nice chamfering on the outside, just a little, not really, I mean, it's not sharp, but there's not much chamfering going on the inside. You've got right over here, nicely done and flushly made titanium backspacer. Pretty cool. A little bit of jimping going on in the flipper tab over here, and that's it. There's no jimping going on this side, so it's pretty much overall just sleek, just smooth. And there's no option for your lanyard hole unless you're gonna use this hole over here, but I doubt it. There is indeed a lock face insert, stainless steel. You can see the screw over here. Of course, internally designed lock bar stabilizer, which is done right over there. You can see it. You've got internal lock bar cut out to leave the clean look of this side of the handle of the knife. Sorry, really cool, super easy disassembling process. You've got to need a T6 and a T8 for the pivot, T6 for the handle, and you're done. And you can see that this side is kept clean because this there's no hole for the bit, because this is a D-shaped pivot, which is brilliant, and it's not gonna be spinning once you're gonna be wanting to disassemble this guy. So really cool. Clip is tip-up carry only. It's not reversible. It's deep carry. It's beautifully designed, unless just for the the sharpness of these sides a little bit, and a little bit of hot spots that creates in my hand when I'm just squeezing the handle. So that's just that. Yeah, not perfect, but the right amount of tension is there. I like the fact that the screw is kind of like flush, so it's not gonna snag any of the fabric of your pockets. It's good, but it's not reversible. Tip-up carry only, and not ambidextrous. The length of the blade is a 2.75 inch long Wharncliffe Elmax steel blacked out blade. Nice and thick and thin stock. It's gonna be a pretty good slicer. You can appreciate a nice wedge going on, like from almost half of the length of the blade, and then drops down right over here. You've got probably like 60% belly. I mean, it looks like all belly, but I would say like this little chunk is kind of like plain and flat edge. You've got a flat grind, nicely done, a little sharpening choil right over there. Plunge grind is nicely designed, and I see a nice edge symmetry as well as a pretty consistent grind symmetry for the blade. So it's nicely done. There's a very subtle and minimal billboarding going on. You just can appreciate the Quietcarry and this the steel employed over here. So not really much billboarding going on over here. So it's gonna basically keep the overall design pretty clean. There's no jimping, of course, over here. It's nice and smooth. This is not like a hard use knife. It's just for like a nice and neat office carry, for designed to perform like light tasks. The sound this guy makes is this. Very pleasant, very subtle. It's unobtrusive when you open it, like that. When you close it, almost inaudible. It's a nice click. Very discreet. Nobody's gonna be intimidated if you pull this out, and if you deploy the blade, like there's no thwack, there's no clack. It's just like a nice click, pretty subdued, and almost muffled and inaudible and dampened sound when you close the blade. So it's really discreet. The weight of this guy is gonna be 2 ounces. So it's very light. It feels really great. When you squeeze the handle, you're gonna. I feel a little bit of hot spot going on over here. They should have maybe rounded off a little bit this area, but nothing too crazy. There's no jimping going on, so the grip is gonna be overall not great because this is a small handle. At least for me, look at this. It's really small. So there's not much that I can do, but it's just the design of this one. So it's gonna be really cool for small tasks. You're not gonna be able, you can do a reverse grip, but it's probably not designed for that. You can't choke up. Overall, it feels quite solid. There's a little bit of flex. I can see it over here because the backspacer is very short. So just at the end of the handle, so it can introduce a little bit of flex. But again, it's not designed to perform any heavy task. Texture is good. The fit and finish is good, I have to say. But if you check closely, like this gap over here, you see there's a little bit of gap here, which is a little bit wider than that. On the back is pretty nicely done. I see here, I don't feel any step, any lip, any bevel going on. So it's nicely done. Even here, the backspacer, it's pretty flush. So overall, fit and finish is good, except for this part over here. You see, it's a little bit widening. It's not the end of the world, but it's there. It's not perfect. The clip release, it has the right. The clip, has the right amount of tension to be released from your pocket. Deployment speed, you can do push button, or you can even do like a light switch like that. It's gonna work either way. It's gonna be reliably deploying the blade for sure. There's no, you can do a push button without introducing any kind of finger soreness on the tip of your finger. This guy is actually smooth in the deployment, and because it's using a ball bearing system around the pivot, so it's deploying fast, it's deploying snappily and reliably. So really cool. I like it. Detent strength is on the medium side. There's not really much kickback because the blade is really thin and light, so you're not gonna feel it or like drag in a way by any means. There's no way you're gonna be able to touch the blade, so it's pretty safely recessed. Even here, you can't. It's safe. You see, it's indented nicely, protected by the backspacer, and because it's recessed from the end of the handle. No rattling when shaken, so it's well put together, it's nicely built, it's precise, the blade is centered. The lock bar, it's relatively easy to disengage because of this double cutout, so you can easily jam your finger at an angle and just be able to disengage the lock bar. So it's pretty good. There's no lock stick, of course, because of the presence of the lock bar interface made of stainless steel. So really cool. There is no detent ball ramp, but there's not really the need for that because there's no. There's a hard step, but it's not that bad. It's not obnoxious in any way. You have a free fall as soon as you disengage the lock bar, as you can see, but if you put the knife in the vertical position, you're not going to be able to observe any guillotine effect. You're just going to have to wiggle a little bit in order for the blade to go in the closed position like so. But it's not too bad. You also have almost zero amount of detent suction, like this, just a little bit at the end, but it's just the nature of this beast, which overall it's good, it's nice, it's sleek, it looks good. It's a murdered out gentleman and stealthy carry, which I appreciate. The modern take with the modern materials and overall sleek and subdued lines, which are matching with the very discreet sound. The ergonomics are, they are what they are because it's overall a small knife. It's there's not much like area to grip on, but for the office carry, for the casual use, it has nothing wrong. So it's a really good option. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned.